Imagine a home that doesn't just shelter you, but thinks with you. A home where sunlight becomes warmth, where shadows become comfort, and where intelligence flows quietly through the walls like an unseen heartbeat. For centuries, we've built houses as shields against the world, structures of wood, stone, and steel, meant to keep us safe from wind, rain, and time. But what if the house itself was more than protection? What if it was a partner alive in its own way, listening, adapting, learning how to take care of you? This is not tomorrow. This is not a dream. It's here, now, hidden in the rise of a new design, the solar passive AI-guided barndominium. At first glance, the word sounds unusual, almost unfamiliar, barndominium. A blend of rustic tradition and modern possibility. Strong bones, open spaces, and the spirit of a barn, merged with the intelligence of a system that studies light, heat, and air the way we study language and music. It is a place where architecture is no longer just a backdrop to life, it becomes part of life. Where every sunrise isn't just beautiful, but functional. Where the path of the sun determines how warmth lingers in winter and how coolness settles in summer. And layered inside this natural rhythm, there is something more, an intelligence that whispers quietly through data and pattern, a mind within the walls, not loud or mechanical, but gentle and aware, adjusting and learning without us noticing. This is the beginning of a different kind of story, a story of homes that don't just stand still, they grow with us. And the first chapter begins here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. For as long as we can remember, barns have stood quietly across open landscapes, solid, weathered, unshaken by time. They were more than structures. They were symbols of resilience. A place where warmth gathered in the winter, where air flowed freely in the summer, where every board of wood carried the weight of human hands and human stories. Barns were never just buildings, they were ecosystems, a rhythm between people, animals, crops, and sky. They were built with instinct and necessity, but also with an unspoken wisdom, angled for wind, positioned for light, connected to the soil beneath them. And in their simplicity, they carried a kind of intelligence of their own. Today, we carry that spirit forward into something new, the modern barndominium. At first, it feels like a leap into another world, sleek lines, wide open interiors, spaces designed for comfort as much as for strength. But look closer, and you'll see the past woven into every detail. The openness, the honesty of materials, the sense of belonging to the land, it's all still there. Because the truth is, sustainability isn't something we invented. It's something we remembered. The barn already knew how to work with nature instead of against it. And now, with technology at our fingertips, we refine that wisdom rather than replace it. This is where the soul of the past meets the intelligence of the future. A home that honors where we've been, yet dares to imagine where we can go. The barndominium is not nostalgia dressed in steel and glass. It is the living continuation of an old story, one that begins with roots in the earth and reaches forward toward possibility. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. Every beam of light carries an ancient story. The question is, do we listen? For thousands of years, sunlight has been our most constant companion, guiding crops, shaping seasons, painting the world with warmth and shadow. Yet, somewhere along the way, we forgot how to live with it. We shut it out, then spent fortunes trying to mimic it with wires and bulbs. But now the wisdom of the sun returns, quietly through solar passive design. This is not technology in the cold sense of the word, it is poetry. Windows aligned like instruments in an orchestra, catching the morning, softening the afternoon, quieting the evening. Walls tilted and stretched as if they were sundials, measuring time not with ticking hands, but with the slow dance of light. Even the choice of materials becomes a verse, each one shaping how heat lingers or escapes, how air flows or rests. A solar passive home does not fight the elements, it breathes with them. In winter, it gathers warmth like a hearth, holding it close, offering comfort. In summer, it releases, letting coolness flow gently across the skin. And in those moments, something deeply human happens. A family laughing in a living room bathed in golden morning light. The quiet peace of a kitchen at dusk where shadows stretch long but never heavy. Beneath the beauty lies a subtle truth. This harmony saves energy, lowers costs, and reduces waste. Orientation, insulation, natural light. They become invisible guardians, working silently in the background. In the end, the sun doesn't just illuminate the home, it becomes part of it. And we, at last, begin to remember how to live by its whisper. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. But sunlight is only half the story. The other half is intelligence. Artificial, yes, but what if it feels almost human? Imagine a home that knows when the afternoon heat will press against the windows and lowers the shades before you even think to reach for them. A home that senses the air shifting before a storm, preparing the space, sealing warmth, protecting what matters most. It studies patterns quietly, gently, suggesting changes not to control you, but to care for you. Small whispers of guidance. A reminder that the breeze is strong enough to cool the house naturally, or that shifting your evening routine could save both energy and cost. This is not intelligence that shouts or intrudes. It is intelligence that adapts, flowing silently through circuits and code, translating numbers into comfort, translating data into well-being. And here the story deepens. A house that was once only wood, steel, and glass begins to feel different, more like a companion than a shell. It listens, it responds, it evolves alongside the people inside it. A home that protects, nurtures, adapts, not cold, not distant, but alive in its own quiet way. And yet a question lingers. At what point does a house stop being just a structure? When does it cross the threshold into something else entirely? Not alive as we know it, but not inanimate either. Something in between, something new. The solar passive barndominium was born from tradition, but with AI, it begins to blur the line between design and intelligence, between architecture and awareness. And perhaps this is where the Real story begins. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. Every story becomes clearer when we see it lived. A family wakes in their barndominium as the morning sun streams through windows placed with precision. The shades adjust before the children stir, keeping the rooms gentle and cool. Breakfast unfolds in a space that feels effortless, warm light, balanced air, comfort that seems invisible but deeply felt. For them, the house is a quiet guardian, making mornings calmer, softer, kinder. Elsewhere, an artist leans into the rhythm of daylight. The home shifts with her creativity, adjusting skylights to soften glare, guiding air to keep her studio still. She doesn't command it. The house seems to understand. The boundaries between human expression and architectural intelligence blur, as if the building itself is part of the creative process. And then a farmer. His barndominium stands beside his fields, tuned not only to his family, but to the rhythm of the land. Forecasts and patterns flow into the home's awareness. Reminders of storms, signals of changing temperatures, guidance that helps him prepare both house and harvest. For him, the barn of the past has become a barn of the future, still connected to the earth. But now, with a mind of its own. Different lives, the same design. From dawn to dusk, each story is woven with light, data, and care. This is not architecture as we once knew it. It is something richer, stranger, more alive, and a quiet question lingers at the edge of it all. Is this still a home built of timber, steel, and glass? Or is it the beginning of something entirely new? An evolution of shelter into a partner, a presence, a companion in the story of living? In the silence of the night, while the family dreams, the home does not sleep. It listens, it learns, it prepares. Subtle currents of air are measured, shifting temperatures noted, whispers of data weaving themselves into quiet intention. By morning, the house will know more than it did the day before, about light, about warmth, about the people who call it home. This is no longer just shelter. It feels like something more, an evolution of what a house can be. Not a passive backdrop to human life, but a partner in it. A presence that adapts, protects, and supports in ways that feel almost unseen, yet deeply felt. And here, the thought arrives, is this simply architecture refined by technology? Or is it a new kind of relationship, one where the walls themselves become part of the dialogue of living? Perhaps the most radical thing is not what the house does for us, but what it teaches us. To slow down, to listen to the rhythm of the seasons, to remember that sunlight is not just illumination, but nourishment, that shade is not absence, but care, that intelligence is not only digital, but natural. Because beneath the circuits and sensors, beneath the design and the data, lies something older than all of it, the reminder that we are still tied to the earth,